And we're back. So I am in Europe. I think I might have said this before, but the reason I mentioned this is because one, I'm super proud of myself for still sticking to my crypto video a day for the week. So we're still going strong. Also, um, Oh yeah, I was at Zara today, and the point of this was one, I don't go shopping a lot, but also when we like went to the register to pay, you go to this counter and there's just like a little like sink. It looks like a sink, and then there's just a computer, and you drop the clothes inside of the sink, and as soon as you like put it into the basket or whatever, it automatically rings up like the color, how much it is, all these things. Not sure how, but we put everything inside. And then at the end, it tells you which of the items has like a security tag on it and needs to be like have you remove it. So I've never seen anything like this before. I don't know if this is already updated everywhere in the world and I'm just like slow and like I just don't go shopping. But my point of this is that we're moving quicker into this world of efficiency and speed and things being done immediately and interconnected and efficiency. And money hasn't had that transition yet. And I don't even know what the transition will fully look like, but money still doesn't move this effortlessly. Like, yes, we have like apps and things that you can send money, but like it doesn't move as effortlessly as information and things do. And so this is why I'm so excited about XRP, and we're gonna dive right back in, and we'll just go for it. So I was thinking most cryptocurrencies are companies that tried before to get ahead, like the competitors or other cryptos. They basically try to disrupt the system. Ripple, on the other hand, tried to join it. And for a long time, that strategy looked like a huge mistake, especially the time in which it's taken to get through all of this. But what if it actually wasn't a mistake? We can look at examples like Binance, which built the largest exchange by volume but avoided US regulations for years. In 2023, the SEC and the CFTC both sued Binance, and in 2024, Binance paid $4.3 billion in fines, and their CEO stepped down and later faced criminal sentencing. Binance had to restructure under regulatory scrutiny to keep operating in major markets around the world. Another example of a company is Tether, which is a stablecoin company, and it's USDT. And they have, for a long time, been very opaque about their reserves. And they were able to avoid full regulatory oversight for years, building a huge market share. Um, Tether is now facing pressure from MiCA in the EU and in the US with stablecoin laws, which will likely force Tether to restructure or register as a regulated stablecoin issuer. Tether is still dominant, but now under severe pressure to become transparent or risk getting blocked from key markets. Another company is Terra, and they built a decentralized algorithmic stablecoin USDT without reserves or oversight. Terra Luna ignored regulation, red flags, and warnings. The company collapsed in 2022, wiping out over $60 billion and triggering global stablecoin crackdowns. Then you have companies like Celsius, BlockFi, Voyager, FTX that marketed themselves as innovative platforms but avoided basic financial oversight. They operated like banks or investment funds without licenses. Eventually, all of them collapsing one by one in 2022 through 2023 with massive retail loss. This was one part of the push within the United States for enforcement for first policy. and steered conversations globally for a need for regulatory clarity due to massive retail loss. Either way, this brought money to Washington, creating attention and conversation that may have also led to more regulations that we're seeing now. We can see that many crypto companies grew by avoiding rules, which grew profit margins even at the cost of accountability, but also leading to the inability to scale into the financial system. The minute they needed to interact with banks, governments, or institutions, they were blocked, sued, or forced to retrofit compliance. It's like building a car to be fast without seatbelts, no airbags, no brakes, just speed. Then next, the government says you can't drive without safety features. Instead of being built into the car from the beginning, the manufacturers try and build into the car that was not intended to have any of these things. It becomes costly, messy, and against the inherent design of the vehicle. And so it just makes it absolutely clunky and worthless. And this is what is happening with other companies as they try and meet the new regulatory standards that are being set. Ripple may have chosen to play the long game through licensing, legal battles, partnerships, and infrastructure. And will it pay off? Ripple's compliance first strategy, getting licenses within New York Department of Financial Services, which is one of the most powerful and respected financial regulators in the United States, especially dealing with crypto and fintech. Then also getting licenses in Singapore, Ireland, UAE. We've gone over these again, you know. They also have partnerships with central banks and regulators. Ripple also voluntarily built into their system to provide monthly audits of RLUSD through a third party. XRP was used within jurisdictions before the US gave clarity, showing countries were willing to step out into technological advancements even without global powerhouses giving the thumbs up for approval. One must think, why would a crypto company willingly put itself under so much scrutiny? I think because, first of all, before I tell you what I think, I really would never put myself under this much scrutiny and in the spotlight in such a way. Can you imagine what it would be like? This is crazy. But this is when I think we should go back to the team of Ripple and why I think the team matters and says everything we need to know. First, we have Brad Garlinghouse, which is a tech mastermind meeting traditional finance. He worked as senior vice president at Yahoo. He was also president consumer of applications at AOL. He also, which I mentioned before, has a very strict code of ethics built into his own system, holding companies like feet to the fire when it comes to making sure their mission matches what they say and what they do, and calling people out if they don't. He's done this time and time again. Next, we have Stuart Al. Well, I wouldn't say time and time again, but he has done this before. Next, we have Stuart Alderati, which is an ex-regulator. He has over 30 years of legal expertise and within regulatory affairs with companies like American Express. He also is a SEC veteran. Next up, we have Rosie Rios, who is a former treasurer of the United States, and she just so happens to be the woman that signed the $100 bill that's probably in your pocket, but her name is on $1.7 billion of currency on $100 bills out of only $2 billion that exist in circulation. Going on. We have Susan Friedman. She's a former U.S. Treasury. And we have Monica Long, which is great for enterprise and blockchain strategy. And she has this like seemingly way of wanting to encourage and build within her company. So this team was built to win trust, not just clicks or hypes. And the strategy that Ripple is after, is it going to pay off? We will see. Because they sure as heck have slower retail momentum by choosing this way. They've had a SEC lawsuit that has spent years tied up in legal battles. They missed the speculative bull run of 2020 and 2021, which I think cryptocurrencies that were a part of this, they got their kind of stamp of approval or market dominance during this time, and XRP completely missed this due to the lawsuit. But now Ripple holds the keys to institutional crypto, right as the world is starting to shift with regulatory clarity, with new conversations that are happening, and people's minds being open to this technology. So, having thought about all of this, what kind of investor do I want to be within crypto? Watching Ripple has made me think less like a spectator and more like a strategist. And this is really how I think now. Strategy always. And maybe that's the real shift that's happening within crypto as a whole, not just for the financial system. Maybe how we change how we engage with money, how we engage with information and data. So, I really appreciate you joining me again. I'm so glad we're here. Please like, subscribe, follow, leave a question, leave a comment. None of this is financial advice. I'm just really curious and I want to share what we're learning and I want to dive in deeper. So I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks again. Bye.